Guys, we are imminently going to hit the price of 50K for Bitcoin, 49,975, 83, 82, 90. Okay, anyway, 93. Whoa, we just hit 50. Literally, this is the first time that Bitcoin has hit the price of 50, and we just recorded it live. We've just hit 50K on Bitcoin, and I was gonna make this video that we were about to hit 50, but seeing as how we literally just touched 50, 140 on this video live, I mean, I just saw it here. This is insane. We're gonna get into all of this and more, get into the chart analysis. Hello everybody, my name is Bruce Bradbury. Some of you out there on the internet might know me as Graph King. So go ahead, grab a coffee, and let's get into it. Now that Bitcoin's hit 50K, we're gonna get into some chart analysis, some real technical analysis, and talk about where Bitcoin goes next. Now, before we start all of this, I need to preface to you all, guys, don't just sit in front of this computer watching the price of Bitcoin all day long. Last year, a little bit of a sob story, but I lost like 20 pounds just because I was antsy about, oh, the stock chart. Look, I'm trading. I completely neglected my health. I didn't eat, a good diet. I didn't go exercise. I didn't do push-ups. I didn't run. I didn't do anything like that. So my advice to you all is, yeah, this is really cool. And the price of Bitcoin, as you'll learn later in this video, is going to continue this trajectory. So what I need you to do is grab a coffee, put on your running shoes, go on a run, go out and exercise, bulk up a little bit, listen to this video in your ear, buy some Bitcoin, and be calm about it. But today, we're gonna go over the technical analysis. I've charted just this level of 50,000. We'll take it out from the weekly. We'll go to the 5 minute. The 5 minute is the time frame that I love to use when trading. I want us to really look at, okay, we picked up around 48K this morning at 9 a.m. So about 3.5 hours ago, we really picked up. Now, what does this mean? There's like no selling here. There's a whole bunch of consolidation here and just a shoot up in price. And for this, I wanted to take us to a liquidity heat map of Bitcoin because, and if you followed Bitcoin a few years ago, 2020, Bitcoin was, and crypto as a whole was a lot more simple. There was less trading and less options activity, less derivatives trading on Bitcoin and other cryptos. However, right now, and this is my analysis, I'm noticing that there is a lot more derivatives activity on all of these cryptos and on Bitcoin especially. It's much like you can think of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 just hit all-time highs as well. When you go look at the SPY, so the S&P 500 is at all-time highs, 503.50. That's super cool, but the only reason I bring up the SPY is because the S&P 500 is manipulated a lot through the derivatives and the options that people are playing, whether that be day trading or swing trading or just gambling on options, okay? So all of this trading and speculation has a huge effect on Bitcoin as well. Now, looking at the heat map, we can see, in short, it predicts the price levels at which large-scale liquidation events may occur. A liquidation event occurs when a trader's positions are closed due to price fluctuations and their margin account balance is insufficient to cover the open positions. So essentially, this is people closing out positions, trying to do a trade, and not being successful. We can see at 49K, there were a ton of liquidations indicated by the heat map, indicated by the yellow color. So what I'm seeing, and I'm piecing together this liquidity heat map crossed with what I'm seeing on Webull here, is there was a straight shoot up essentially from 48K. So what is that telling me? That is telling me that essentially maybe either on the secondary market or maybe even people trading Bitcoin, spot Bitcoin, there were a lot of liquidations, a lot of people stopping out of their positions thinking, oh, we aren't going to break 50K. We're going to stay at 49 and we're going to flush back to the downside, back down to, and let's figure out levels right now. What are we seeing immediately? Well, immediately we are seeing this 42 to 43,000. So we're going to take our line tool here and basically chart just a level of resistance at, let's get a little closer here. Let's say it's at 42. Okay, there's a lot of consolidation. And even back here in 2022, this was a level of slight consolidation as well. So immediately, just looking at the chart visually, I'm seeing that 42K is a consistent resistance point. So I'm sure that people trading today in the last few days thought that, oh no, we're not going to break 50. 50 is such a high resistance point. we're not going to break 50. We're going to go back down to 42. So I can believe that that is essentially, those were some conclusions that traders may have drawn from Bitcoin. However, if you've been following me on the channel, you'll understand that I am a firm believer in the Bitcoin power laws theory. Now, Bitcoin power laws is actually research done from Giovanni over here at BTC Power Law. I recommend you guys all follow him. We can see that Bitcoin is simply following this trajectory, this uptrend. We can see Bitcoin hitting a price of $1 million plus in 2030 or 2035, okay? Somewhere distant in the future, Bitcoin is just going to continue this uptrend because Bitcoin is a network. Bitcoin isn't just like a stock, or it isn't just like the US dollar. It's more like an ecosystem, an organism. The more people know about Bitcoin, the more people put their money into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a very useful currency worldwide. Digital gold, of course. So let's go back to Webull and understand what is the next point of resistance for Bitcoin. We're at 50K right now. And as I'm filming this, I wish that I was filming this video live on YouTube so we could share in the excitement. I'll try to edit this as soon as possible, get it all out. Now, a lot of people considering this huge upward pressure thought that 50K wasn't going to be broken, and we might see 50K rattling off this point, consolidating a little bit. It could even be a false breakout. We could go back to 42K. But as we've just charted out with these two simple lines, 42K is a level of support, and 50K is a level of resistance. Now, if we continue to shoot up from 50, that becomes the new resistance. That's technical analysis. Now, I want us to look, what is that next point? What is the next point of resistance that Bitcoin has to climb to? What is the next glass ceiling, if you may? Clearly, I'm just seeing 55 because there's a little consolidation around here. And again, we're looking at the weekly, so we can zoom on in and go to, okay, what time frame are we looking at? November of 2021. So let's go to the daily. Okay, there we are, looking at the daily. Okay, now that we've got a higher fidelity image, we see that 55K isn't really a point. There's no consolidation here. So this really isn't a resistance point. However, we can bring it up a little bit to 57K. 57 right here is a way stronger point of consolidation, and that just creates a natural resistance point. So 57K, and we can see another one at 61. 61 was a huge, and finally, or second to finally, we've got about 65, and then we'll just chart this and color code it red. There we go. That's our big boy level right there. So what do we use with this analysis that we just did? We just drew simple lines, and I know it seems very simple, but this is the way it goes. You've often seen the meme that technical analysis is like astrology for men, okay? People like to talk about it at parties, but it doesn't really mean anything. It's actually just fake. However, the way trading goes and the way people trade off of levels, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I go and say, hey, look, there was a lot of consolidation here in the past at, 57K, well, I'm sure that anyone else that's following the rules of technical analysis are also thinking that same thing. It's kind of like when you're playing poker. Now, if everyone knows the rules of Texas Hold'em at the table, but you've got one odd guy that doesn't understand betting size, doesn't understand, what cards to play when, doesn't know how to read players, he could just be playing somewhat randomly. This guy ends up tricking a lot of the professional poker players just because everyone assumes that everyone else is following a certain set of rules. That's kind of how I like to think of technical analysis. It's a set of rules that really, what is it? We're just drawing lines on a chart, so how can it be real? But because everybody else is charting lines on the chart and they're making moves based upon the lines on the chart, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy like that. That's how I can explain it. Anyway, for the short term, I don't know what happens. We could consolidate at 50, we could pull on back to 42, or we could go back up all the way to 57. Of course, we haven't seen those prices since the tail end of 2021, so those could be really old levels, but those are the only levels that we have to reference. So everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this video. We had a lot of fun actually breaking 50K live on this channel. Insane. Okay, so I'll get this video out as soon as possible. I hope you guys love the content, and I'll see you in the next one.